All right, and we're rolling. What's up, Todd?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Pretty good. So, welcome back, everyone, to the P&B show. We have one of my greatest family friends, Todd Schufelt, with us here today.
It's the most special guest in the
the
entire
most
world.
special guest that we're probably ever going to have on this show. So,
Guys,
thank you, Todd,
I
for being
want
here.
to let you know. I want to let you guys know I'm Venmoing you the money now for that. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
So, Todd, tell us a little bit about what you do and, that's about it. Just what you do and what makes you successful right now.
So my name is Todd Schufelt. I'm a regional sales manager for a company called User Friendly Media. And we actually specialize in SMBs, and that's not a bad word. That stands for small to medium-sized businesses, just so you guys know. And we have 38 offices in 8 different states, so we're spread out pretty wide, everywhere from California to New York. But our specialty is really small to medium-sized businesses, like I said. And what we try to do is we try to come up with products that are not only going to be effective products for their business, but extremely affordable. And the problem normally is small businesses want all this new technology and these new things that are available, but a lot of times the benchmark or the platform, the starting point on it is usually high, and that's why a lot of national accounts get on the bandwagon first,
Right?
And they don't feel like it's that they can even jump onto or afford to do or even consider doing. And so what my boss's theory has been his whole career since he started User Friendly was to be able to make it affordable for these SMBs, so that way they can participate. And what we want to do, our goal is to allow them to have access to all the things that the big box stores do,
Right.
That's
that
awesome.
they can actually have access to it for a price point that won't rob the bank. So, and that's what we've been doing. So just to put it in perspective, we do everything from print media, which could be phone books. Everyone teases me and says, phone books. Well, we
Right.
take new technology, we add new technology into the old technology. So I'll give you an example how we know that it still works, right? Because it's not about hearsay, it's about factual information.
Yes.
And so let's say I sold you guys an ad today. What I would do is I would encourage you, if you decided to take me up on it, I would ask that I put a voice recorded tracking phone number in your ad in the phone book. So that way you never have to ask people when they call, how'd you hear about us? How'd you get our number? At the end of the campaign, or throughout the campaign, you guys would be able to go into a platform, a website, log in, and be able to listen to all the calls that came in off of your ad in my phone book.
Oh,
So
that's
that way
awesome.
when it comes time to make a decision and all your friends are going, phone books are horrible, no one uses them, you
Right.
can go, well, before I decide that, I want to make a really good sound decision. Let me actually listen to my phone calls and see what I got. And if it makes sense, great. So we
sure.
do that a lot. That's one of our biggest things, because that's been around for hundreds of years. But on
Right.
top of that, we're not naive either. We know that we need to, have other things available. So we want to be more like an agency.
Okay.
And so what we do is we have a nice lineup of products. We do everything from websites. We build apps for businesses.
Wow.
We do everything like retargeting, so let's say someone came to your website today, and I don't know if you guys know this or not. This is kind of crazy. When I first heard about it, I was like, get out of here. You're got to be crazy. 98% of all web traffic doesn't convert.
Wow.
98%.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
That's a high number for.
Right. But you know what? Everyone thinks that their websites do really well, which they probably do, because the majority of the people are on the web. But
Yes.
what's interesting is the dynamics changed a while back. Remember when more people use mobile phones than they did laptops?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys. Do you guys use your laptop or your phones more?
Definitely, I'm on my phone way more than I am on my
I
laptop.
feel like I'm mixed.
Yeah,
I'm almost
Peyson probably
50-50
uses
probably at
both,
this
but I
point.
mean, yeah, if I'm choosing one or the other, the phone's just super convenient. I feel like a majority of people would answer that way.
So imagine this. Imagine if you guys are going to buy, I know that I'm a little crazy, you're going to buy a new Peloton bike, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you go,
You have one of those, right?
I just bought one
I
right
do.
before this
Hey,
call, actually.
Oh, nice. You can't tell by looking at me because I'm a little thick. I mean, I need to be on it more often, but that's all right. I'm at least a little bit ahead of the game because at least I own one, right? So now I just got to start riding it. So one thing that I find, so let's do the scenarios. Peyson, you're going to buy a Peloton bike and you're on your laptop. And Brennen, you're going to do the same thing. You're researching it and you're on your phone.
Okay.
So Peyson, if I call you right now and you're on your laptop and I call you and you're searching for that Peloton, did I interrupt you or distract you?
You distracted me.
Okay. Now Brennen, with you, you're on your mobile phone looking at the website for Peloton and I call you. Did I interrupt you or distract you?
No, you interrupted me. I was in the middle of doing something.
You cut it off. It's over.
I took over your screen, brother.
I'm not buying the Peloton anymore either.
Right. So look at the dynamics. Back in the old days, a lot of people were on laptops, home computers. So you could get interrupted, but you're not thrown off your game when you're searching. Mm-hmm. But now that you're on mobile, which a lot of people use mobile devices to search for and buy and find things, now I'm completely interrupting you. So, let's say that I'm the business owner and I own Peloton and you clicked on my ad, it cost me $25. And then guess what? Someone called you, Brennen, and now I lost out on all that money because you didn't do anything. You didn't convert. So the dynamics between laptops and smartphones actually change the dynamics. So now we need what we call another opportunity to be able to convert those people. So what we do is one of our products, besides just selling websites, we build 10-page websites, custom websites. We also put an insurance program on it. It's called AFLAC for advertising. It's a geek word. I'm not a geek word, but it's our code word, right?
Right.
Imagine if someone went to Peloton, you went there, you got interrupted or distracted, right? You didn't do anything. And then one day later in the mail, you get a postcard the size of Bed Bath & Beyond, and it said, Peloton bike, order now, save 20%, and the first 3 months is on us.
Mm-hmm.
That might help convert it, right?
Yeah, that might change it all.
Yep. So that's another product that we do. It's called I can't even think today. Is today Monday, by the way? It is.
Yes, it is Monday.
My brain's still on Sunday. We actually call it retargeting, but it's in a different way. So we buy data on customers. So when they go to your website, we put a pixel on there. As soon as they land on it, it gives us your IP address. We give that to our 9 vendors. They buy and sell data all day long. And we don't care how much money you make. We don't care what kind of car you drive, because we can get all that data off of that, believe it or not. All we care about is where you've been in the last 30 days so we can physically mail you this card. So that product works really good. So that's another one of our products. Besides the websites and besides apps. And then we also sell those mobile intrusive. Have you guys ever been on your phone like at iHeartRadio or something or you guys are a lot cooler than I am, so you probably have cooler app. But let's say it's iHeartRadio and I'm riding on the treadmill, right? And then do you ever see those intrusive banner ads that pop up like that?
For sure. You get and all sorts of ads. Yeah,
all the time.
Do you like them or hate them?
I can't stand them.
Okay, so my wife was reading the Bible at church one day. And and all of a sudden, the reason why she hates them is all of a sudden.
Ads on the Bible app. Yeah, that's the worst. You're trying to get into the Word, and then all of a sudden you got some ad that
free cookies.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. Well, you know why she was mad? She's a woman, and it said Hertz truck rental, and she's like, "What? What's God trying to tell me? Like I need to drive a truck?" So anyway, so we sell those, but the difference with us is, for many, many years, those ads were all nationwide, national ads, like for Hertz truck rental and all that. Now, guess what? Would you guys be upset if all of a sudden it popped up and it said Starbucks, buy one, get one free? Or how about Tesla, buy a Tesla today and get a free Tesla? Free Tesla.
I'd rather that stuff be popping up on my screen than
buy one, get one free Tesla.
Starbucks, Tesla, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Get a Starbucks. Get a free Starbucks when you buy your Tesla, get half off. You know what I mean?
Ad, I would not mind showing up on my screen.
At all. Serve it to me. That's what they say. So just so you guys know, we sell the mobile banner ads, but we can actually do it a little bit differently. So rather than just send banner ads out to just anyone, we can actually pick a demographics for you. So you can tell me how old you need them to be. You can tell me how much income they make, where they live. So it can be extremely targeted. And we do that because every day when you guys are on your mobile phones, you give up your privacy for convenience. Does that make sense? So you give up your privacy for convenience. And when you do that, even though it's scary on your end, on my end, on the other side of it, it's great news because I can actually help my customers target the perfect customer for themselves. And I can do it as low as maybe 2 cents per ad. So it's very
that's
affordable,
awesome.
but it can be extremely effective. So,
well, that's like when you talk about Tesla. That's like when I talk about Tesla and then I go on my phone and all of a sudden I have an ad for Tesla 30 seconds later.
It's a little scary. I got to be honest with you. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, instead of calling me Todd, you can call me Big Brother now. How's that?
Just like 1984 by George Orwell.
Yeah. So, but the biggest thing, the reason why I think I'm somewhat successful is because I love what I do. And I think in today's world,
that's so important.
You have to love what you do. Because if you love what you do, it's not a job anymore. It's an actual career. When I go to work, I don't think of it as work. I think of it as, all right, this is going to be awesome today. So I enjoy it because I really get to help business owners, small to medium-sized ones that really don't know. And I'll be honest with you, in today's world, technology is changing so fast that half of us don't even know what's available. And once we find out, we don't really know how it really works. So that's why I love what I do. We're always coming up with new things. We're coming up with things that would really help the small business owner to medium size, and that it's not going to break the bank either. You know what I mean? So I'm in relationship selling. So I work with a lot of people and I try to treat them like family. And by doing so, it keeps coming back to me over and over and over. And I get,
I've seen that firsthand. That's exactly what you do. You treat everyone that you interact with like they're your own, which is huge. I'm sure that has helped, with your success over the years for sure. That's 100%.
I got to think it helped a little bit. You know what I mean? I've been very blessed and very fortunate, but just to put in perspective too, I don't just work in the Coachella Valley. That's where I reside, obviously.
Right.
But as a regional manager and having 38 different offices, I'm not overseeing that many, but I oversee quite a few of them. And so I travel every week. So people say, oh man, that's the coolest thing. And I go, it is for the first day or two. And then it gets real old, real fast.
Right.
Because sleeping in your own bed and driving your own car is pretty cool, let me tell you. But it's enjoyable to me because I get to see the different things throughout the United States, and every state's different. Everyone, I go back
all the stories that I would hear when my dad worked with you, and all the fun times you guys would have sounded so cool. Yeah, no, there were some good stories.
Oh yeah, well, our philosophy at User Friendly is work hard, play hard. So
I like that.
You got to balance it out, right? Otherwise, forget it. You'll burn out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Balance it out or burn out.
Now, how'd you get into this business, Todd? Like, what made you interested in this?
Yeah, you've been there for a long time too. When exactly did you start?
Were you born into this, like as a newborn?
I came out of the womb and I fell right into this user friendly. I'm just kidding. No, so I'll tell you my story. It's kind of unique. Not to freak you out, but I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Now you might go, oh my God. I will be honest. I give them absolute 100% credit for me and my success because I was taught from a very young age how to speak publicly in front of people. That alone,
you guys would knock door to door and stuff like that, right?
Well, guess what? We would Dodger Stadium, and we would have huge, what do you call it? Conventions, and there'd be 60,000 people there, and I would get up and I would participate in different dramas, and dramas are like shows, like reality. You know what I mean? Like and when I first started, I remember I was a nervous wreck. But nowadays, guess what? Now I'm like, hey, 60,000 people is a lot. Anything less than that is super easy, right? So that helped me. And then, like you guys said, going door to door and having people slam the door on you and give you every objection you can hear.
Right.
I laugh.
Yeah, you've seen it all.
Well, not all of it, but some. Right. I see quite a bit, and I was on the bad end of the stick. So one day I got a job at Costco, and I loved it because I got to work with the owner, Jim Cynical, and he had me actually go to all the new warehouses. I was in charge of opening up all their grand openings of all their new warehouses. And then any warehouse that was slow, he would send me to, and I would try to incorporate and get sales back up to par. and I would go out and visit with business owners and talk them into coming back. So I got to travel a lot for Costco at the time. And I never forget, my brother-in-law called me one day and he said, "Hey, you need to come out to the desert." And I go, "For what?" You know, I was in the Inland Empire. I'm like, "The desert? That's for old people. And it's hot." And he's like, "Well, I'll tell you, I have a great opportunity. There's a guy that comes and sells me these Yellow Page ads, and he's always driving a nice car, nice watch. None of that matters. But what I'm saying that for is he's obviously very successful.
Right.
And he's the coolest guy in the world. I mean, this guy I enjoy him coming." And he goes, "And I can't say that very much about salespeople. Like, and normally I hide from them, right?" So, so I kept blowing him off. And then finally, I went out there and I interviewed with the guy, and he said, "You know what? I think you have everything it takes, but I think you need to think about this a little bit more, because I don't want you to make a rash decision. And I want you," and I found out in the short term, guess why he didn't really want to hire me?
Why?
How come?
Well, he sold advertising. My brother-in-law was one of his best customers. So if the deal didn't work out with me, he would probably lose my brother-in-law's business.
Right.
And I would be out of a job. And I was getting ready to get promoted to go to the buying office at Costco and different things. So finally I go, "Man, I want this job, and I'm going to come every day until you hire me." And well, the funny part was every day I would come, because I worked at Costco, I'd bring muffins, right? Because they gave me unlimited muffins to give out to business owners. So he goes, "All right, I got a question for you." He goes, is there any way that can you tell me that if you can tell me right now that you'll never bring me another donut or a muffin in your life, I'll hire you. And I go, "Deal." He goes, I have one question for you. And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "I don't think that you can take criticism, or not criticism, but people telling you no and people beating you up." And he goes, "Because you're too nice of a guy. You're so easygoing. I just think you're going to have a problem with that." And I go, "Well, I think otherwise." And he goes, "Why is that?" And I go, "Man, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. You know how many doors I knocked on?
You know how many times I got told no?" That's so funny.
He goes, "With that being said," he goes, "I got to be honest with you. You're hired, dude, because anyone that can go through that could probably sell Yellow Page." And I go, "Cool." So that's how it all got started.
I never thought about being a Jehovah's Witness as like, it almost sets you up to be a salesman person. Like, it sets you up. Like, if you wanted to go into sales, it's pretty easy to go from there to sales. Like, you're already in it.
Maybe I should try it for a while.
Well, it's a free college. How's that? It's like a free college. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
But I gotta give them credit, because not only do they teach you the fundamentals about how to publicly speak, how to interact with people, but they also spent my whole life because we would go to church normally like on Sundays, but we would go on church on Wednesdays for 2 hours, and that was all Wednesday nights were all training. It was all training on how to be more effective.
To go out there and be able to do that.
Yeah. So when people say, "Where'd you graduate from?" I go, "The Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses."
That's awesome.
Anyways, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness anymore. I'm a Christian, but I give them a lot of credit because they helped me a lot in my life. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but after going through their training and then having a couple jobs under my belt, it really kind of opened my eyes to what I was, I think, going to be called for, what I was good at. You know what I mean? And I'm always learning, always doing. I can always do better, but I got to be.
And honest, I'd say based on what I know about you, you know, especially, you know, me growing up, going to church with you guys and stuff like that, that watching you, your faith has really helped you out now with the success that you're having as well.
What's always taught me to do the right thing. So I one thing I would tell you is I live by this: under promise and over deliver, and treat people like they deserve to be treated, or how you'd like to be treated. So I try to incorporate that in my everything. You know, now you gave me a lot of credit with the church thing, and I love the Lord, but one thing I need to work on is my mouth, because I say some bad words occasionally. But other than that, I try. You know what I mean? I'm like everybody else. So I'm a work in progress.
We all do it. We all do it. I got lectured by my mom for throwing a couple curse words out there in the first podcast. First thing she said when I got on the phone was, "Maybe you should watch your mouth a little bit." But she's right. She's right.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, you got to lead by example, right?
100%. Yeah.
So I have a lot of people that work underneath me, and if I constantly act certain ways or do different things, you got to expect that they're going to think that it's okay for them. So I always like to run tight ship, a clean ship. Another thing that I pride myself on is I tell everyone, never be late, never be on time, always be early in business.
Yeah, well, that's even what you told us that one day when we stopped by.
Yeah. Yep. And you guys were early, man. So you started out with me on the perfect side. So, first impressions are everything, especially in my line of work. If, your time is valuable, and if I'm going to ask to spend time with you, if I'm late or anything, that's a big red flag, because that tells me if you're already doing it, if we're already starting out like that, what's to be expected going forward? So
absolutely.
There's a lot of different things that you got to think about.
Yeah. Now I think I heard it from Brennan. He tells me that every time you go on like wherever you go to meet people for business, you bring like donuts or something. Could you explain?
Well, like he was saying earlier, the muffins.
The muffins, like
every day.
Explain why you do that.
Chipotle, whatever.
All right, so I'm going to tell you something, but if I tell you and you tell anyone, I'm going to have to kill you. Oh wait, you're on a podcast. Okay, so here's my kind of something that's
this information isn't going anywhere.
I trust you guys. Okay, cool. So when I worked at Costco, let's go back in time. When I worked at Costco, and I was helping generate more business for the location that I was working at. We dealt with a lot of liquor stores and stores. Okay, so stores would buy from Costco. Okay, and when they would come in, they would spend $20,000, $40,000, $60,000, $100,000. Sometimes I'd do $500,000 before the store even opened, because we open up early to some businesses. We let them come through our side door before anyone comes in, so that way they can get back to their shop before everyone opens, right? So, yeah. But what happens is sometimes Sam's Club and Costco were almost identical. It just depends on, do you have all the stuff that I need when I come? Because I don't want to go to Sam's and Costco. I want to go to one place. So sometimes we get bought out on stuff, or we'd run out, and then customers get mad. And then once they switch over to maybe Sam's, it might take a while before they even consider coming back. So with that being said, what I would do is, I'll never forget, I had a little MR2. I don't know if you guys even remember what those, you probably don't even know what those are.
I have no clue what that is.
It was a Toyota MR2 little sports car, okay? And it had T-tops, and back in the day, it was pretty cool. Back in my day, I'm showing my age, but I would park out in front of the warehouse, and I would do stuff inside, and they all knew that I did marketing for Costco, so the bakery people. So what would happen is if they had an excess of bakery goods that maybe they didn't weigh out properly, so there's nothing wrong with them, they just didn't weigh as much as they were supposed to, so we can't sell them, right? They would still package them. They would package them, and then they would check them out on my account. I had an expense account for marketing. They would package them, wrap them up, check them out on my tab, and then they would put them in my car. So I would get to my car, and I'd have like 46 packs of muffins, and I'm like, dude, I smell like a muffin. So no one knows this, but my nickname at the time was called, and they still call me this, the Muffin Man. I was called the Muffin Man in town. So I would take those, and I thought, you know what, I want to get rid of them, but I don't want to just give them away. I want to make sure they kind of, it works out. So I would go to businesses that maybe used to buy from us that weren't buying enough, and I'd go in and say, listen, obviously we must have put a bad taste in your mouth. So I wanted to start today with a fresh taste, a good taste in your mouth. So no matter what happens when I leave today, you're going to have a good taste in your mouth with these awesome muffins, right?
That's awesome.
I'll never forget, I went into this one place, and there was literally 100 employees. It was a call center, and I wanted to sign people up for memberships. And you go into a call center, they're going to be like, dude, get out of here. What are you doing? We're making calls, right? So I walk in, and back in that day, instead of a 6-pack of muffins, we had a 12-pack of muffins. Okay. And I got 10 of them. So 10. So stack up 10, right? I looked like I had 10 pizza boxes in my hand. And I come into this place. I can barely see over my muffins, right? And I come walking in, and huge call center people. And they're like, what the heck is this guy doing? And they're like, what's this all about? And I go, I got muffins for everyone. They're like, well, come on in. Next thing I know, I had everyone's attention. The boss walked over and goes, what in God's name is going on? I go, I got to be honest with you. You guys seem like really cool people, and you deserve a nice treat for the day. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to stop by and drop you off some goodies. And they go, well, that was awful nice. Like, this is amazing. Well, what can we do for you? And I go, well, I was hoping to earn your business. And I thought the best way to do it is start out by putting a good taste in your mouth. And they always laugh, right? And the next thing I know, I left with like 25 signups. I go back. Now, my weekly quota was 4 sales per week, like of memberships, business memberships. I left with 25.
Let's go.
So guess what happened? Every day I would get more muffins, man. They were like, give Todd muffins because it pays. So make a long story short, now in my world today, my wife is a realtor, and when we were at a big thing at Zillow had a big kickoff, and they had a couple of their people that advertised with them be able to come in and meet the owner and the CEO. And it was funny because he said, some of the things that these reps are doing when they get our leads, they're immediately taking over some goodies to someone and saying, hey, we'd love to work with you. We'd love the opportunity. And so I go, that's funny because I do something similar. I do it with muffins. And the guy started laughing. He goes, that's a great idea. So one thing I've learned, you guys, is you bring something. Most people don't take they don't take the extra step to go out of their way to show acts of kindness. And whenever you break bread with someone, I'm just telling you, you guys, it goes so much further. So whether it's muffins, whether it's donuts, whether it's cookies, you bring that to someone.
Bagels, whatever.
It just takes it kind of drops the defense wall down a little bit, and they got to be somewhat, So it's helped me a lot.
That's awesome.
So anyone in sales, definitely pay attention to that part that you just said, because that could be huge.
Yes. You know what? If you ask any of my employees, what's Todd's number one thing? They're like donuts, muffins, cookies, pizzas. Another thing is, what I've been getting into too. I'll never forget this. You guys will laugh at this one. So I can tell you the name. It's all right. Cause the guy is awesome. He's one of my favorite customers. It's Palm Desert Ace Hardware. Okay. Palm Desert Ace Hardware. And every time I call him, he's always busy around the holidays because that's renewal time. It's busy. I called him a couple of years ago, and he said, Todd, are you kidding me, dude? Like, I'd love to see you, but I'm swamped. And I go, well, I know something. I don't know a lot, but I know something. No matter what happens, you got to eat. No matter what happens, you're going to have to eat lunch, right? And he goes, yep. And I go, well, good news. I'm buying. I'm going to buy lunch for everyone in your whole office, like the whole Palm Desert Ace Hardware. And he goes, well, then I guess you're coming to see me at noon today. And I go, I guess so. So guess what I did? I went to that place that I used to work at, Costco, and for $10, I can get an extra large pizza. So I got 2 of them because that covered everyone in his place, right? All of his employees were happy. He was happy. And guess what happened? I signed him up. I don't remember what it was, maybe $3,000 to $5,000, right? And I'm getting ready to leave, and he's like, I can't thank you enough. That was awesome. And I'm leaving, and he goes, Todd, hold up. And I go, what? He goes, that was the most expensive pizza I ever bought in my life. Because he's going, like, it cost me $4,000 or $5,000 to feed my people. And I go,
pizza today.
I go, no. I go, do me a favor. Understand something. That was the best investment you made in a long time. He goes, fair enough. I'll give it to you. So anyways, bring in goodies.
And the cool thing is that you only had to pay $20 to land a $3,000 to $5,000 deal.
I tell my people, you do the math. To invest a couple bucks and to make the customer feel that special and that good, and to leave with really happy. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer.
100%. Makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the other day you were even telling us about you were going into a deal and the guy said that you can't force him to sell you anything.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a real good one. He's still talking about it to this day. So you want me to tell you real quick again?
Yeah, go ahead and tell that one real quick. That one was good.
All right, so I have an air conditioning guy, and I go see him. He's in Thousand Palms. He's a really, really cool guy, but he has a house in Thousand Palms, so it's more like, like bigger lots out there. And he has a chain link all the way around his property. And he's got like these, I don't remember if they were Rottweilers, but like 2 dogs that were looking at me like, you're going to be lunch, right? Like, you don't have to bring lunch because we're going to eat you. So I'm like, oh boy. So I called the guy and I go, hey man, you got to let me in the gate and help me, because no way am I going to try to get in there without you being there. And he goes, I'll be right out. So he gets out there and he looks at me on his side of the fence and says, before I open the gate, I want to let you know something. I'm not letting you in until you make me a promise right now. And I go, well, what's that? And he goes, that you won't increase me even $1. And I go, well, I can't promise that because I'm not going to do anything you don't want to do, but it's up to you, right? And he goes, nope, I want to hear it. And I kept going back around, and I never said it, right? So anyway, so I go inside, I show him all of our cool products, I show him how it's going to work for him, how it's going to help him. And make a long story short, I sold him a few of them, and I'm leaving to go to my car, and he's like, that's why I should have never let you in here. You took all my money. And he starts laughing. He was super happy because it worked out, and it was real good.
Right.
But, some
otherwise
customers don't really want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because some customers, want to play hardball with you because they're scared. When they say no or they say all that, it's because they're not sure. They're not sure how it's going to work for them, if it's going to work. And, that's their hard-earned money. So that's why I really pride myself on being a consultant, not an order taker. I don't go in and just, hey, what do you want, Peyson? What can I do for you? I go in and I try to be creative and give you ideas and give you success stories of other people that I work with to see. And then again, I ask you to evaluate it and see if you think that would work good for you. Right. And if it does, man, there's not much I won't do to make it work for them. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Obviously, I don't hold a gun at their head or nothing like that. The worst I'll hold at their head is like a muffin and say, take a bite of this. But when I was done, the guy basically, he wasn't too nice. He kind of gave me that middle finger. I think that means I'm number one, and said, good luck.
Yeah, no, that's it.
You, Todd.
No, that middle finger, that means number one for sure. No doubt.
But do we got time for a real quick one?
Yeah, no, we got time.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a place. Have you guys ever heard of Hospitality Dental?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
They have 2 offices out here. Okay. So, but they're huge. They're huge all over the Inland Empire. So, but in the desert, we have 2 locations. Okay. And I went to see them and I found out that the owner or the main doctor was in San Bernardino on Hospitality Lane. And I wanted to sell them into our directory because I had every other dentist except them. Right. But I couldn't figure out the right person. And finally I got a name, and the guy's name is Dr. Feldkamp, and he's out of San Bernardino on Hospitality Lane. Well, all of a sudden it clicked. I dated a girl in high school and her mom worked for Hospitality Dental. And I thought back real quick. I go, I better have been nice to that girl. I hope I was nice. And I'm like, yeah, she was a really great girl, right? So I call her mom. I said, listen, I'm so sorry to bug you. Hey, how are you? I hope everything's good. And I don't know if you remember me. And she's like, yes, I sure do. And I said, but I'm looking for a Dr. Feldkamp, and I know he's hard to nail down. And she goes, no one has a schedule. No one knows when he comes and goes. Just to put it in perspective, he has his own Learjet. He's got a yacht bigger than what's his name? Tiger Woods. I mean, this guy is like,
so he's balling.
He's a baller. He is a big baller, right? So I'm like, good luck with this one. I go, well, if I ever were to hook up with him, what's his favorite thing? And she goes, oh, that's simple. You know, those at the Claim Jumper, they have those chocolate cakes that are like literally huge. It's just this huge chocolate cake. Yeah. Well, they're about, I think they're like 2.5 feet tall by like a foot wide. I mean, it costs like $60, $70, I think, for the cake. And she goes, that's his favorite. And I go, what kind of car does he drive? And she goes, a big 4 Series Mercedes, and it's whatever color it was, right? And she goes, but he always parks in the back. So if you see his car there, that if you look in front of his car, the glass windows, that's his office. And I go, cool. She goes, that's all I can do. I can't tell you anymore. So I called every single day during the week for like 3 weeks. One day they go, Dr. Feldkamp's on another call. Can I take a message? And I go, well, you think he'll be there for a little bit? She goes, at least until noon. And I'm like, this is it.
Perfect.
So I hop in my car. I drive to San Bernardino, which is 50 minutes away. I get I'm praying to God on the way there that Claim Jumper's open and that they have a cake for me. I go in, the guy goes, we got 2 left. And I go, I'll take one. I grab it. Now it's a huge box. Look at it's from my stomach all the way up to my head. That's how big it is. So I pull around the back and I go, there's his car. Now I look up, here's this big guy schooling everyone. Like literally there's 10 people in his office and he's pointing at him like they're in trouble, right? And I'm like, that's gotta be him. So I get out of my car, I grab the box and I go up to the window, right? I'm at the window. And you know how when you can tell someone's looking at you out of the corner of your eye, but you're not
like,
sure,
what's
you kind of go
on?
like this?
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And he goes, he puts his hand and he goes, what the heck? You know, he goes, probably what the is going on? And I'm like, this is for you. This is for you. And he goes, get in here. So I'm like, okay. So I come in and he goes, okay, everyone, give me a second. Can you help me understand what the hell you're doing outside with that box waving at me? I'm in a full-blown meeting. I go, well, I heard a rumor that your favorite thing that you love the most is the chocolate cake from Claim Jumper. And he goes, well, sir, or well, son, you learn, you're a fast learner. Yes. And I go, well, good. This is for you. And he goes, what might I contribute this to? What's this all about? And I go, well, I was hoping that I could earn your business. And I wanted to have maybe 3 to 5 minutes of your time. Obviously right now is a bad time. but I'm willing to work around your schedule. I get up early and I go to bed late. So you name the time and I'm there. And he goes, he turns around and please forgive me. Your mom's going to be mad at me right now. Hopefully no one from church is listening, but he goes, listen, this son of a bitch comes in my office, interrupts a meeting with 10 of you. And guess what? He now has an appointment with me on Monday. So son, be here at Monday at 8 sharp. And I'm like, hallelujah, awesome. This is great. So needless to say, he says, guys, you need to pay attention to this guy. Look what he did. He not only got the owner of the company, but he got him when he was in the middle of a freaking meeting. He goes, and look what he brought me, my favorite thing. He goes, so take notes, you idiots. He goes, this is how it's done. So and then he looked at me and said, hey, I'll see you on Monday. Great job. And I look forward to, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Well, make a long story short, I came back the following week. I met with him. I sold him $25,000 and he paid me in full.
Wow. How awesome is that?
Now watch though, some of my reps would never drive an hour out of their way, an hour out of town, take up that much time that they could be selling. None of them would spend $75 on something that you don't have a guarantee, but you do the math. I sold $25,000. I got paid 25% commission.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys, I don't know. It's all about numbers, right? So you invest a little to get a lot. I mean, it was payday. I was the whole way home. I'm like, I love me some claim jumper. I love me my Dr. Felgam. I was singing to myself, who's the man? Who's the man? So trust me, there's peaks and valleys. There's peaks and valleys in sales, and there's plenty of times where I've done that before and it didn't pan out, but it's never panned out. Like it might not have happened then, but
you just don't have a whole lot to lose by putting yourself out there like that.
And you have everything to gain. So I tell everyone, if people tell me I'm aggressive, I say I'm not aggressive. I'm pleasantly persistent.
I like that.
And it's true. You are. That's 100% true.
And I come bearing gifts. Yep. And I come bearing gifts.
And who doesn't love gifts?
Right?
Right. Exactly.
Now, what would you recommend for anyone that possibly wants to get into any type of sales position? Like, is there anything you recommend for anyone starting out?
Yeah, I will tell you this. You can never be afraid. Here's the deal. When I hire someone, I tell them, first of all, you either have the ability to sell or you don't. So if you don't have the ability to sell, don't get into sales. I can't teach you how to sell. I cannot teach you how to sell.
Well, how does someone know that? What if they think that they're good at sales or can be good at sales and they're not at all, or vice versa?
Well, here's what, like a little tester. You know, with the coronavirus, they say, here's the best way to test to see if you have it. Here's the best way to do it. You go like this and you hold your breath for like 30 seconds. And if you can't hold your breath for that long or you start coughing, there's a good chance that you could have some kind of something going on, right? It's probably not the best way, but it's a sign. Right, so watch this. If you were to go door to door today, if I gave you a product, I said, go door to door, would you be scared? Would you be afraid? Would you be embarrassed? Or could you pull it off? If you can't, then don't get into sales. Like me, if you ask me, I'd be like, bring it, give it to me. Let me try. It's embedded in me. It's just, it's natural for me, right? Now, it doesn't mean that you're not a good person. You can't sell. It just might mean that you go in, maybe you're the guy that's my boss, that's behind the scenes. Maybe you're the guy that, you do a different portion of the company, a different aspect of the company. So I would tell you, I can't teach you how to sell, but I can teach you my products and my services. So as long as you have the sales ability, people my whole life told me, Todd, you could sell snow to Eskimos and you could sell this to this. And I've always been told that, right? My boss at Costco, I used to be on a cash register and I would screw up all the time. When you get to the door, they look at your receipt. They hated me at Costco. They hated me. Every time that person would get to the door, I screwed something up. I mean, every time, right? So my boss comes up and goes, he used to tell the people at the front end on the registers, don't put Todd on the register. He's in marketing. Let him be outside the building getting us sales. Well, sometimes when they get busy, they'd be like, you get on the register. Well, every time they did, I would get in trouble because I would screw up. And then my boss would cover me and say, you guys are stupid. He's supposed to be outside, not on the register. Again, that's because it was clear to everyone around me and it was clear to myself what I was good at, right? What my forte was. And that's sales. So I think for the most part, if you're a people person, if you're not afraid to speak, if you can publicly speak, if you're not afraid of the word no, because just so you guys know, the number one thing we hear all the time is no.
Right.
Yeah. Every day. But no just means, you know what, I'm not sold on what you have told me so far. So then I have to, okay, so I understand what you're saying. You're saying no. But I think what you're saying to me is you don't fully understand it, or you don't see how this could be applicable to you, or how it might help your business. Right?
I completely agree.
And then I go, where most people would go like this, no problem. Okay, thank you, bye.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I hear the word no, what that does for me is it says, all right, Schufelt, it's showtime. It's time to shine. It's time for you to do what you're good at, right? And educate. What my job is educating people, because a lot of people want what I have, but they don't know how it's going to help them or how to implement it and so on and so forth. So I think the biggest portion of my stuff is education.
Okay, awesome. Now, is there anything else you'd recommend before we wrap this up?
I would just say, you know what, find someone. Don't be afraid to contact people. I mean, you know, there's like, if someone came to my office, I give anyone and everyone an opportunity. Everyone and everyone an opportunity. I will tell you that there's a couple things that I really think that you have to do. If you interview with me, I would ask you, what are the top 5 best things? If you were to describe yourself in 5 words, what would it be that relates to sales? And then also, I want to hear the word, I like to underpromise and overdeliver. You know, I'm not afraid of the word no. I'm a self-motivator. I don't give up easy. I'm easily trainable. You know what I mean? I'm very coachable, trainable. And I'll do whatever it takes, and I'll make it happen.
That's awesome.
That sounds perfect to me.
Cool.
And never, ever, ever tell yourself that you can't do it, because I'm going to tell you something. You can do anything you put your mind to it. I've told myself that, you know. Don't be lazy. Just go after it, you know. I mean, if you have all those, you'll be successful. But the biggest thing I could tell you is, when it comes to a job, like I said in the very beginning, if you love what you do, it won't be a job. It'd be a career, and it'd be something that you love doing every day. So if you love sales, just find the right product that suits your personality and what you like. And the rest is all, you know, it's downhill. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, thank you, Todd. We appreciate you.
Now, you guys said if I do this, I get, what is it, 20% of all the earnings off of these or something for the next 50 years?
We can negotiate that later. But
the only problem is we don't get anything. So well, we can give you an imaginary 20%.
If you want if you want a couple cents, I think I have some loose change in my pocket. I can run over real quick and drop it off.
I got a dime for you. If you can see
there
that.
You go. Hey, you guys keep your money, because here's the deal. I'm honored to be a part of it. You guys are awesome, and we love you guys, and I think you're going to do great things. So just don't forget us small people when you guys get up to the big time.
Oh, man, we love you. We appreciate you,
Yeah, we appreciate
Todd.
having you on, Todd. We're honored.
Yeah.
All right,
thank
cool.
you, Todd.
Well, hey,
thank
guys,
you, Todd.
do me a favor. Stay safe, stay coronavirus free, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Todd.
Cool.
Thanks. See
All
ya.
right, Todd.
All right, no worries. Bye, guys.
Later.